There we are. All right, you all wanted to know. Forgot my sunglasses. Prefer to film with them. Much better. You all wanted to see my bus Igor. It's a 1997 Bluebird school bus that when I got was yellow, full of chairs. Now, I'm going to take you and show you what we've done with it. Tell you some of the pros and cons in case you were thinking about doing one of these conversions yourself. I think probably one of the most important things is to understand what you're going to use it for. For me, I use it to travel. I'm a philanthropist. I travel around the country by motorcycle, raising money for different charities, primarily military related. So today I'm camped out behind Cowboys Harley-Davidson of Beaumont, Texas. And I'm constantly moving around the different dealerships. Tomorrow morning, we are gonna raise some money with the Patriot Guard. This bus allows me to keep from spending money to stay in a hotel and have some sort of consistency. See, one thing I've learned is living off of a motorcycle. What happens is every day I have to load that bike, I have to unload that bike, then I have to set up my gear for my office. Then in the morning I have to tear down my office, all my stuff, load it back on the bike and go back on the road. That really limits my ability to do editing and move forward. If I sleep in the dirt, it's pretty much the same thing. I've spent many nights next to my motorcycle, alongside gas stations, alongside roads, fields, things like that. Not this trip. We've put in that time, and now we're using this school bus we named Igor. I do have another video on Igor. Says I made my bus do 80 miles an hour. That one you can see, and you'll be able to see some of the differences between what it was then and what we've made it to now. You've got to understand that this is a constant work in progress. I didn't have the luxury of having a house, leaving at the house, building it, and then going out on the trip. I drove around the country and built it as I went. So all this has really been built and made in parking lots just by me and my friends. So all those friends out there that have helped me, I want to thank all of you first. We'll start with the paint. It's just Rust-Oleum flat paint. No primer, no nothing. It's just rolled on, and it's been on there for 50,000 miles, and it's still holding up great. LED headlights, my buddy John of Indiana hooked me up with. Those things are brighter than daylight. Unbelievable. Huge, huge thing for me. Some of the accessories, the grill, the bumper are gloss black. The rest of it's flat. That is a reefer bumper. That's not a traditional school bus bumper. It's off of a big rig. We got the air horn. It's actually a Peterbilt air horn up there. I got the duck from the movie Convoy. I actually got this from the place that makes them up in Colorado. They also make the Grammys. I did throw a little Harley-Davidson logo on there, of course. Had to remove the stop sign by law. I think that's something you should know that you're gonna have to do if you want to build a school bus. In here, my drive battery that starts the bus. In here, my battery bank. These are my house batteries. They are wired in parallel, which means positive to positive all the way down. It makes it essentially one huge battery. This little thing is called an isolator and does exactly what it says. It isolates the batteries, so the alternator can charge this bank but won't drain that drive battery. So if I run out all this juice, I'll still have a battery to start my bus. That is an important little guide to get. These boxes were just cut in to the skirt across it and then drilled up to the frame and welded in with some brackets here on the side. Again, just done on the side of the road. I got these at Harbor Freight. This one's got supplies in it, a blanket so I can lay down on the ground if I got to get underneath the bus, funnels, washes, spare nuts and bolts, just tools, odds and ends, rags, things I need to keep the bus working. This is kind of my last storage compartment for underneath the bus. This is all my electrical wiring stuff, hoses for filling up the water. I'll get to that. Some power cables, 220s underneath there too, and then of course some wood just in case I could have a fire. 425/65 R22.5. That is the size tire I run on the back of this for a couple reasons. One, suspension in these things is really rough. It's one of the reasons you really should go with a regular RV if that suits your needs. The bigger sinker tires does leave a little bit more squish, a little more cushion, and makes the ride just a little bit softer, but not a ton. The fact that they're taller is what helps me go faster. I can do 80 miles an hour in this thing. It's essentially changing the gearing. Got a 7,200 watt generator. Just cut that in, built a rack. I pull this trailer pin here. That locks it into place. I can just slide it right out and I can fill it. That right there will run about 8 hours straight, running power to the inside if it's needed. We can also plug into shore power right here, as we are right now. This is just 110 running to a heater in there. I also have a 220 plug in there. So if I want to hook up, mainly I just run that for my air conditioner. Behind it, we are pulling a 16-foot enclosed V-nose trailer. It pulls it, you don't even know it's behind the bus. That's how well it pulls this trailer. Just got it hooked up with a regular trailer brake system and Reese hitch. Works out good. Back here, I do have it classified as a motor home. That's a big difference, and you have to prove that you've turned it into a motor home. Under here, we've got hot water heater, fresh water tank. That's 40 gallons of fresh water, and then just some other storage and stuff. That hole that electricity comes out of just pulls right in here, and so the cable's stored in here when you're going down the road. That's also access to my back bedroom. I'll show you that. Inside the trailer, I do carry Ashley's Road King Special, her 2017 Road King Special, my buddy Big Show's bike, and then of course my bike. So what we do is we travel the country. We also make YouTube videos, so we stay out of this. So we'll set this up here, it'll sit here for the week, and then we'll run day, 2-day, 3-day trips out of Beaumont, Texas here, and check out the area, share it all with you on YouTube. So if you have not yet, please click that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. There'll be bus adventures, there'll be motorcycle adventures, and a lot of good for our country. So if you love America, go ahead and click that. Okay, on this side, this is my water fill up. So this goes directly into those tanks you saw inside. I don't run gray or black water. I just didn't want to deal with black water, period, and the gray water tanks, I've just not yet gotten one underneath it. But I don't know how well you can see it, but I do have this portable gray tank that just goes up and hooks up to my plumbing, and that works out pretty good. It's 18 gallons. It'll last me 2 or 3 days if you're careful with your water. On this side, I keep 2 extra things of fuel for the bus and for bikes. When you're out west, sometimes you do some really big stretches where there's no fuel, and sometimes your GPS will tell you fuel stations are there that have been closed for a decade. Up top, you will see we've got an air conditioner unit up there, and also 400 watts of Renogy solar equipment. Renogy is a little bit more expensive, but I think it's worth it in the long run because power is one of the biggest issues for a guy like me living on a bus like this. Heating is very important. I just use this little collapsible Coleman grill. It fits right underneath the back with the water tanks when we're traveling. But this helps us to stay just a little bit healthier on the road. The locking system, it's just a simple padlock down here in the bottom. That's all I have right now. I'd like to come up with something better, but that's what we got for now. Coming inside, you've got Scooter's domain. How you doing, Rue? Huh? You chilling? So that's where Scooter likes to sit and look out the window. Got this Husky toolbox that's just bolted to the floor here. This is where I keep a set of tools, some handy stuff that you'll need while on the road. You don't have to come all the way up into the bus or go into a box. You can literally just stand here, grab what you need, and go for it. All right, inside the bus, there's Scooter. Still got the standard school bus chair, just a cover on it, a little bit of a cushion. Got some things wired up here. This is wired up to the water pump now, so that way I don't leave my water pump on. We got a little TV wired in there so we can watch some TV at night, although I really never get to use it. And for audio, I've got the sound bar Samsung. Works out pretty good for a stereo. It's just a house stereo. And then inside this compartment right here, I've got buried a subwoofer. That works good. Fire extinguisher is always important. Scooter's little collapsible water dish. This thing works good. It's actually an ASR water dish. It's completely collapsible, so I can dump the water out and I can just fold it up and throw it in a backpack on my way out the door. He's always got a water dish with him. Just a regular couch. This is the desk I just built. I just cut it out of a piece of plywood from Home Depot. Routed the edges through some stain on it. Kind of curved around the back, so I got a little ledge there. Sunk in a little power outlet, so that this is kind of our work and editing station. Power is just a Harbor Freight 5,000 watt continuous converter that's plugged into those batteries and allows us to plug in regular house outlets. This is the solar one. Right now we are 13 volts. We are putting 11.6 amps into the battery bank right now through that solar. I just run the cords along this trim here up to the back to where the solar panels are. These chairs are a good thing to talk about. They're just regular $100 office chairs, but you take the wheels off and you put these kits on them, and those hold pretty good. Going down the road, they don't slide, but you can still move the chair around. Regular old garbage can, office supplies, things I need to grab in a hurry. We have got actual granite countertops, believe it or not, and just kind of a dual sink there that works good. Microwave, coffee maker, me and my boy Scooter, that was drawn for us. This is where we keep the good stuff. This is just storage underneath here, food bank, things like that, coffee, dog treats, just extra storage. Again, more storage there. This is a bench that actually just lifts up and you can store underneath there as well. The fridge is a big new addition for us, full-size freezer and fridge. I say full-size for a bus. And this allows us, again, that eating healthy is very important to me. So we are working on that. And it's just a lot less expensive than trying to eat out at restaurants every day. What you're looking at here is a roof air conditioner, no heat, just air conditioning. Okay. One thing in a bus that's going to be a problem for you is going to be heat. The insulation is horrible in these things. And there's just a couple ways you can do it. You can, you know, put in more insulation, you can insulate the floor better, but I didn't want to lose any height. I'm 6'2", and I mean just clear that ceiling. So I didn't want to add any height to the floor. So really, this is just like a rubber glue down laminate flooring on there. It is not thick like wood. In here is a shower. Just homemade shower in there. It's a 4-foot shower. It works pretty good. We also use it for a lot of storage. The shower curtain rod doubles as a clothes hanger for clothes. And then it's just a standard shower, nothing fancy. And then I do have a portable toilet for emergency situation. This is how I run my heat a lot of the time. It's just electric. This is what's plugged into the outlet outside I showed you. It works pretty good. And then in the very back is just the bedroom. I got an old quilt that was made for me on my tour out of Harley shirts and ScootinAmerica shirts. And then this is just a queen bedroom back here. Got some hangers up here, some windows, and that's that back door. And this is just the queen bedroom. It works pretty good for sleeping. So technically I can sleep 2 here. I can sleep 1 there and another one on that couch because it's 1 solid cushion. When you get the split cushions, they start to move around on you. It makes it uncomfortable to sleep on. One of the best things about the school bus is it's all metal. So magnets for everything. These are my magnetic ASR glasses by Epoch Eyewear. But they're nice because I never lose them. At night when it gets dark and I'm not going to use my glasses, I stick them up here. And no matter where I am in the bus, I can always just run in and grab my shades. They stand out, they're never lost. Same thing like if I was in a home. I would come home and I would just stick them to the fridge. Every day when I left the house, I would know where my glasses are. Buy a lot less pair that way. For a vacuum, it's just a cordless Dyson. That's what we use. It works really good. It's just plugged in through the house power. And again, another fire extinguisher. We do have a CB, and our air horn chain is actually like a little motorcycle chain. Just use a regular suction mount for my GPS. My phone goes in here, and that's my GPS. And another thing a lot of people ask me about, and I struggled with a lot, is curtains. I used to use just a vinyl pull down. Well, heck, look at this. I still have one in here because I'm waiting for my other curtains, but this is just a vinyl roll up. You know, you pull it down and it goes back up. Those curtains are made with a cardboard core. That cardboard core warps when it gets wet and moisture, then it's hard to use it up and down. They didn't work good. It was nice because they tucked right up behind here when they were up, but It just wasn't a good system. So in the spirit of my magnetic sunglasses, we just decided, heck, get some curtains, put magnets in them, and that is a lot easier than anything else. You can pull them all, bunch them all down, put all the magnets, boom, right against that fridge there, and you've got yourself a nice open view, kind of like we do on this side. So my friends, that is it. My 1997 Bluebird mobile home slash production vehicle. It's a good home base for us. We get it to, we drive it to a city, we set it up, and then we run day trips out of there for weeks at a time. Works pretty good for us. If I was a full-timer retired, I don't think it's the way I would go. It's just the engine runs, you know, not strong enough on them typically. The heat's an issue, the air conditioning's an issue, the suspension's an issue. They're not very nice, but they do look damn cool.